Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of the Final Fantasy Legend 3. Last episode, Weggie, Bwizzy, Bubbles, and Gilda returned to the future, and they discovered the new town of Darm. So the old town flooded, and so they moved over to this island here. And apparently the Elder has passed away, and this kid is talking about some rebellion. The old city of Darm was lost, but it's safe here in New Darm. Okay? So without the Elder here, who's in charge? We'll find out in a little bit. I heard a band of rebels has gone to the Pure Land. You have to use talent to go to Pure Land. You must first reach Floatland to defeat Matreiya. Floatland is that floating island that shoots by the top of the screen every so often. And Pure Land is like another dimension. Myron is waiting for you, Weggie. Myron, he was the first party member, fifth party member, so. Faye was captured, she's the only one who was able to draw the Mystic Sword. There's Laura, I'm defending the town against the monsters now. We rescued her in the past. And there's our buddy Myron. Hey, you guys. You've aged. 15 years have passed. The city's sunk and the Elder has passed away. Sorry, but the talent can only go to a specific era. You've already achieved a lot. Every time you defeat a monster, history changes. Think we now stop the water entity? No, there's still Matreiya up in Floatland. And they took Faye. Go help Dean and Viper. Password is square backwards. I'm too old now. I'll stand guard here with Laura. Don't forget. Square backwards. This underground town is a perfect shelter. Square is the company that made this game. Famous for the Final Fantasy series. They merged with Enix eventually. The company that made the Dragon Quest games, so they now formed Square Enix. And this is the first game, I guess. I think Square's used the password. I know in Final Fantasy VI, which I'll get to next year, they there's a tombstone, and you have to parse the meter to make your way forward to get this certain item. And the password is the world is square. Morgan said he had come from the farther future of Doom. I heard monsters will use Faye to get Excalibur, for she's the only one to draw it. It's like the sword in the stone, only Faye can get it. And then we get this little, you can talk to water hags of Mew using Morph. We already did that. Morgan, Jupaya, and Dr. Quasar left for the Pure Land. Let's get in our way. We got an inn here. Hey, we got a guy hanging out in the inn. Hey, you look just like Jupaya, his brother, perhaps? We'll learn who Jupaya is later on. We already know who Borgin is. He's the guy who sent us into the future. Who sent us from the future into the past. Dr. Quasar, we'll learn more about him. Humans are good at weapons, beasts are good at martial arts, and mutants are good at magic. We gotta get some new items here. Some for our characters, and then one for our fifth party member who will be joining us shortly. So, we want to grab a dragon shield, two dragon shields. We want to get the Geta shoes. They increase agility by 5. So get them on Bwizzy and then on Gilda. And the other shield is going to go to our fifth party member we're going to recruit here in in just a few seconds. Get those boots on. There we go. So we got that +5 agility there. The dragon mail and a dragon shield. Unfortunately, unlike a lot of other games, the dragon mail, dragon shield, they don't provide any elemental protection. Usually they're like the best shields in the game. Or one of the best, because they give elemental protection from fire, ice, and lightning. Like 3 instances in one, but not in this game. So same things we got. Exit is a spell pick up later, but we're gonna get that for free in a future dungeon. And we don't have to worry about any of those weapons. Our weapons are pretty good as they are. And now we're going to hop back around here, move around a bit. Oak. her get out of the way. Her monster just say yes. Caliber, okay. Other than that. The NPCs can actually go into the tunnels too. State the password. E square square. Proceed. Now he won't let us in until we get the password. But we already got the password. So Dr. Pulsar's in a shelter in the sea due north. We can take care of ourselves, don't worry. Huh? Dion, remember me? I was in Dawn when you left. He was the little kid who said he wanted to grow up to be able to find warrior like us. It looks like he's did that, so... He's telling us we must defeat Matreiya. Sol and Faye were taken to Pure Land. Morgan went there in Talon 2. We must follow them in Talon 1. Matreiya has a unit then. Right, he has the X-Plane. Talon 1 is safe in the palace, but he can't use it, I see. How shall we carry the plan? Dr. Pulsar's a plan. Take him and see him at the bottom of this shelter in the North Sea. Then we get Dion, who joins us. And Dion is really, really good. He comes with some good magic. Even though he ain't a mutant, his magic will be very helpful for us. He comes with a stone spell, and once again another instant death spell. The same type that Bwizzy has. And he also has the quake spell that Bwizzy also has, so that hits multiple enemies. We'll give him the dragon shield, he's going to come with the dragon shield. And if we get another one of those gauntlets from an enemy drop, that'd be nice to get. Fighting enemies is going to become much easier in just a little bit. One, we just got Dion here, so that helps. And the other thing is, at one more level, Gilda is going to turn into a Medusa enemy, and Medusa enemy comes with a skill, Stone Gaze, which turns enemies into stone. So, and we already know that stone is very effective in this game, like most instant death spells. So, let's go into the sea here, go up to the north a little bit, and there's an undersea research lab. Dr. Pulsar's is Talon Expert. You need X-Plane to get to Pure Land. We need to loot this treasure here. Cure 3 potion. Speaking of looting, we're gonna have to do, we're gonna loot a third treasure ship. The last one is to the east of this lab. Here's our plan. We get a radio, and we use a rocket and appear near the palace to go to Floatland. Find the X-Plane, then use the remote to call me the radio. We'll blow the palace up, and then we'll call the Talon with the remote. The fate of Group 1 is in our hands. So I was saying, I didn't get to expand on it, but some of the NPCs in Viper Town there, they can go into the, tunnels, use one of those cars. And speedrun does that to be able to avoid getting the password to save some time. What it does is it gets somebody to go into the tunnel, and then when you talk with that guard, if you don't have the password, he pushes you back 1 square. But if there's somebody standing there, when he tries to push you back, you have enough time to press the jump button to jump over the guard. And it keeps you, like I said, from having to do that. Visiting the town of New Dawn. So, got a new enemy there, that's why I'm doing this fight here. The Sylph on the right. We're gonna see all these instant death spells and their effectiveness. So, and pretty much Weggie is instant death with his robot dash. Yeah, eventually we're gonna get an item, an omelet item, and that casts Fatal. Once we have that, we just pretty much one-shot everybody. So the rest of this episode, after we get this treasure, we got this new enemy here, the Sylph. We'll be getting the rest of the new enemies in the area. So we got a lot of plot in this episode. But one thing we won't be getting a lot of is a lot of fights. I cut out about 16 minutes from the raw footage just to you know, get rid of unnecessary fights. I do most of my fighting back in Mew. I'm gonna go there next. That's where we can get most of the enemies to appear. So we'll do Mew, and then we got an enemy above ground, 2 enemies above ground to find, an enemy in the sea. And we just got a Medusa. Sadly, because beasts always transform as you gain levels, we're not going to have that Medusa very long. When we get another level, Gilda will change again. But we're going to take much advantage of the Medusa's built-in stone gaze. Let's just hop out the thing, go back underwater. And now we just head over to the east, and the wall wraps around. We go right to Moo. Like I said, I'm just going to be cutting out a whole bunch of battles here, so like I said, I cut it up over basically 10 minutes of just random battles, just to show off the battles that we need. So here's 3 new enemies: Crackers, Griffins, and Gigaworms. So have their stats like as always at the end of the episode. So not to worry about stats and enemy weaknesses though, like now with all these instant death spells. But those, the birds I know are weak to fire. So, Bubbles can make good use of her flame ability. Dion, I know I'm not using his weapon a lot, but he's pretty strong. He can almost one-shot things, where Weggie's doing like 470 damage, high 400s. Dion does like high 300s, he does like maybe like 370, 390. So usually Dion teamed up with just anybody else like will finish an enemy off. Dion with Bwizzy's W attack, or even one of Bubbles' regular attacks, Tusk or Headbutt. Like this. Unless we're trying to conserve magic. But since we're in a town fighting, there's no point trying to conserve magic because we can just heal up. But like in future dungeons, when we're in a long dungeon, then you might want to conserve your magic and just have Dion use his fight. Have him and one of your party members team up to take out an enemy. But for right now, we have healing available inns. I'm just going to abuse the stone spell. Here's our last enemy that wanted to meet there, the Grey Wolf. Cerebus. There's 3 heads. What do you think of Ogre Battle, which I think is 2 years ago? I'm going to do that again eventually. But I'll go through with an evil party. So, we'll go for like the worst endings. Because there's some different quests and different people react differently when you play through that game as an evil character. It doesn't just affect the ending, it affects the people you can recruit. Some quests are only available if you're evil or good. So maybe I'll go to see if I can get the fire seal, because I won't be able to recruit Fogel. Instead I'll get his sword. You need to get those 4 mystical weapons from of the different gods, the north, east, south, and west god. Trade them in to get the fire seal. But you won't get the one sword from Fogel if you recruit him going for like a best ending game. And here we're just gonna go around. Once again, I'm gonna cut out some dead time here until I get to the enemy I want to fight. The Brooder over there. He's probably brooding because he knows he's probably gonna get turned into stone. Poor guy. I think I see Dion attack here. Let's see with that MP. I can see that high 300s there, so he took out the Viking by himself. Nice. If he didn't, like I said, team up there with Bwizzy would have finished him off, but Gilda does so with her stone gaze. Now we're going to head onto the south thing here to get that monster. The monsters are above ground, and we get lucky we get them both in one fight. And the reason I chose to do it in the south tower area here is because there's a rare monster that I missed in the past. It's only available on the 5th floor, the floor where Ashura is. So while I was in the area, I figured, hey, I'll just stop in here and go up to the top, get that thing. Now, I'll be off-screening, going up the tower and leaving the tower, because you already saw me do that a few episodes ago when I went and fought Ashura. So there's no point in seeing, like, all that, backtracking. But I will be entering the tower, and then I'll meet you at the top of the tower on Ashura's level, and find that last rare monster. And there it is, the ghosts over there. Sticking out his tongue like it's got all 4 Pac-Man ghosts. The Pac-Man ghosts, they're always the same except for in Mrs. Pac-Man. The orange one goes from Clyde and Pac-Man to Sue and Mrs. Pac-Man. And you have the red, which is Blinky, blue is Inky, and then pink one is Pinky, and then like I said, the orange one changes from Clyde or Sue, depending if you're Pac-Man or Mrs. Pac-Man. I was never good at those games. Apparently there's a pattern you can learn in Pac-Man to you master it. There's several patterns you have to know based on what level you're on. Certain levels have certain patterns, and apparently if you memorize them and do them perfectly, you can go through that game without a perfect game, but even then it's still tough. You gotta know all that stuff. But yeah, now unfortunately we got a Lionel, so we lost our Medusa, but that's okay. We got all the enemies that we wanted to get here. Now we're just going to head back up to the Dharma Temple. And we were told that we're going to have to launch a rocket from this pier to land on the float land. That continent just whizzed by. So that's what we'll do in our next episode. We'll land on the float land and see if we can hunt down Matreiya, defeat him, and get his unit to allow us to follow the other party that went to Pure Land. Take care, see you in the next episode. Bye.